And for informing in Venezuela, citizens continue to mobilize to demand the release of kidnapped President Nicolás Maduro and First Lady and also Deputy Cilia Flores. Our correspondent Brian Mir is in Caracas and has more details. Hello, Brian. What can you share with us at this hour?
I'm standing in the middle of the largest demonstration that's been held in the 1 month since the United States government invaded Venezuela's territorial sovereignty and kidnapped Constitutional President Nicolás Maduro and First Lady Cilia Flores. There are literally tens of thousands of people here. In the 2 weeks since I've arrived, I've already covered 6 protests for teleSUR. This is the largest one by far, and what it shows is that contrary to what many U.S. government officials might have thought, that their kidnapping of the elected President Maduro would somehow cause dissension, infighting within the ruling Socialist Party of Venezuela. Support is unified behind acting President Delcy Rodriguez, and the momentum keeps growing on the streets here in the city of Caracas and around Venezuela.
Thank you, Ryan, for all the first-hand information. We will keep for sure in contact with you throughout the day as Venezuelans are marking today 1 month of the terrorist attack on the nation on January 3rd.
República Bolivariana de Venezuela.
Inicia la agenda de trabajo de la presidenta encargada de la República Bolivariana de Venezuela.
Acting President at this moment, we're seeing live images from Venezuela at this moment. Acting President Delcy Rodriguez is at this hour at the Miraflores Palace and is receiving and giving an official welcoming at this moment. This is, let's recall, taking place as the people of Venezuela is marching throughout the capital of Caracas and also nationwide to mark 1 month after the U.S. attack on the nation. The acting president is at this moment receiving in the Miraflores Palace the credential letters of the ambassador of Qatar at this hour. This is the official welcoming of the new diplomatic body from Qatar at this hour. We can see as well the Foreign Affairs Minister Ivan Gil that is alongside the new diplomatic official from Qatar in a crucial moment for Venezuelans as the whole world as well is. Let's listen to this ceremony. This is the receival that the Foreign Affairs Minister Ivan Gil is welcoming Naviri Mubarak, the new ambassador of Qatar, and before the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Both nations are strengthening their cooperation ties. Venezuela is as well centering its efforts as well of, let's listen.
Bendísimo señor Salman Navid Mubarak Abdullah, embajador del Estado de Qatar ante la República Bolivariana de Venezuela.
In ratifying the bonds of cooperation at this moment, we can see the handing over of the credential letters of Your Excellency Mubarak Abdullah, extraordinary ambassador and of the State of Qatar, accredited before the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. This meeting is also going to be useful to pass through the history of relationships, a strategic relationship between the both nations and the bilateral agreements ahead and the roadmap as well of the economic and commercial relations that also was reinforced during the visit of President Maduro in 2022 to these Middle East nation as well. The bilateral cooperation between both nations in areas such as hydrocarbons, of common initiatives as well, investment, agriculture, transportation, tourism as well. In October 2022, during a meeting of the binational strategic Miraflores Palace, Your Excellency Giovanni Umberto Benito, as well, Ambassador of the Italian Republic of Venezuela. In this moment, also Your Excellency Giovanni Umberto De Vito, who have been assigned the Ambassador of Italy in Venezuela. He is said to arrive at the Miraflores Palace to hand over the credential letters, as well as Venezuela is centering its efforts of strengthening the bilateral relations with Italy. Giovanni Umberto Vito, Your Excellency, Ambassador of the Italian Republic before the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Your Excellency, Mr. Ambassador of the Italian Republic before the Bolivarian Republic, your attention.
¡Al hombro!
Este lunes, el excelentísimo
that
señor Giovanni
Ambassador Umberto De Vito is receiving at this moment, as he is welcomed by Foreign Affairs of Venezuela, Minister of Foreign Affairs of Venezuela, Ivan Gil, at the entrance of the Miraflores Palace, in which this new ambassador is going to hand over the credential letters to acting President Delcy Rodriguez. Present in the room of Hall of Peru, Excellency Umberto De Vito, Ambassador of the Italian Republic to the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. This is the agenda, the political agenda that is being fulfilled today by acting President Delcy Rodriguez. She is at this moment receiving the credential letters of Your Excellency Ambassador of Italy in Venezuela to begin his diplomatic term in the nation, handing over its credential letters to acting president to strengthen as well the diplomatic relations between both nations, as they both will be working in areas of cooperation and a direct communication and effective communication. Also, the Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ivan Gil, is present during this formal ceremony, and this Monday as well, Giovanni Umberto Vito, Your Excellency, he also presented his respect for the Bolivarian government, was the former in charge of business of the Italian Republic, and he arrived in Venezuela on January 13th as well. This is happening at this moment at the Miraflores Palace, as the Foreign Affairs Minister as well, Ivan Gil, said he held a telephone conversation with high officials of Italy in which both authorities agreed to establish a diplomatic agenda between both nations to keep strengthening the alliances and to keep strengthening as well the long-standing story of relationships between both nations, both sovereign nations. Palace in Caracas, Your Excellency Palesca Fiorella Lopez Herrera, Ambassador of the Republic of Nicaragua before the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Also, it is arriving at this moment to the Miraflores Palace, Valesca Fiorella Herrera, designated ambassador of the Republic of Nicaragua before the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Venezuela and Nicaragua have been strengthening along the years a relationship that it goes beyond the diplomatic sphere, but also the ideals of inclusion, social justice, solidarity, complementarity as well, with the commander of the Sandinista revolution, Daniel Ortega. Excellency Les Herrera, Ambassador of the Nicaraguan Republic of Venezuela. Your Excellency, Miss Ambassador of the Nicaraguan Republic before the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. Attention.
Al hombro.
This is the welcoming that have been given to the new ambassador of the Republic of Nicaragua in Venezuela, that is also strengthening the long-standing history of relations between both nations that goes beyond the diplomatic sphere, but also is referring as well to the ideals defended by both nations. She's going to hand over her letters of credence. The Miraflores Palace, Your Excellency Valesca Fiorella, Ambassador of the Nicaraguan Republic to the Bolivarian Republic. This is the welcoming, the official welcoming that was given to the new ambassador of the Republic of Nicaragua. We were listening as well to the national anthem of Nicaragua as the diplomat is going to hand over at this moment her credential letters to the acting president, Delcy Rodriguez. This is also part of the long-standing relationship, the history of bilateral relationship established by both nations for decades, with at the helm of the leader of the Sandinista revolution of Nicaragua, Daniel Ortega, and the co-president as well, Rosario Murillo. Both nations with this official ceremony are reinforcing the aim of keep strengthening the relationship of both nations, of keep working together in cooperation areas and cooperation fields as well, and also to remain united in the struggle in the face of imperialism, in the face of unilateral sanctions as well. This is a symbolic moment for both nations. We can see also the Minister of Foreign Affairs of Venezuela, Iván Gil, is present during this official ceremony, as both nations are willing to keep defending also the relationship in political aspects and cultural aspects as well. And they are betting as well for peace. They are willing to keep also defending their fraternal relationship of respect as well to the self-determination and the solidarity among the peoples, and the union between Latin American nations as well, in also defending the strategic alliance for the development of new projects that will be beneficial for both peoples. Today, Venezuela Venezuelans remember 1 month of the U.S. attack on the nation that led to the kidnapping of President Nicolás Maduro and also First Lady and Congresswoman Cilia Flores. In this context, we want to invite journalist Bruno Lima Rocha, political scientist, also professor of international relations. Hello, Bruno, and welcome to From the South.
Well, thanks for having me.
Bruno, 1 month into this action, what is the Venezuelan people teaching to the world in the face of this unprecedented military attack?
This is a very, I would say, sad but interesting situation. The kidnapping of President Maduro and the First Lady Cilia Flores. If you see from one side, from one angle, it is a typical and classical imperialist attack in the Great Caribbean. On the other side, the US troops did not invade the territory, did not try to do a regime change, did not try to do anything else than a naval blockade, like the British Empire used to do, including Brazil, including Rio de Janeiro, where I am now. So I would say that even Marco Rubio is not challenging the stability inside of the Bolivarian Republic of Venezuela. By the way, if we have access to some public speech for his own defense by President Nicolás Maduro, he will say loud and clear that there is no involvement with the Bolivarian administration and the drug trafficking, besides denouncing and fighting against it. On the other way, to finish my intervention, if we take a look on Ecuador, on the Nianobo and the Noboa trading, we have lots of evidence of very inside influence of drug trafficking from the higher administration of Ecuador.
Your opinion, what's the most urgent challenge for peace in the region after January 3rd? And in this matter, what's the role of the people in achieving this purpose, in achieving peace?
I would say that the second part of the question is easier to answer. If we put millions and millions and millions on the streets and we demonstrate for the imperialists that this whole continent does not accept any more aggressions like what happened with the kidnapping of President Maduro and the First Lady, it will be much more easier for the diplomats to take to Washington that we're not accepting this anymore. But to have peace against the US, we must have integration between our countries and must have tools for this in the whole aspects, like economy, finances, and also defense. Otherwise, we'll be always a blank for the next president, like Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, or other one who wants to take out our sovereignty.
Thank you very much, Bruno, for your time here in From the South.
Thanks for having me.
1 month after the United States military attack on Venezuelan territory, beyond the immediate impact on the country's infrastructure and internal stability, this event has tested the principles of sovereignty and non-interference, fundamental pillars of international law that Latin America defends as guarantee of peace. Let's take a closer look in the following material.
El impacto del ataque militar al territorio venezolano y el secuestro.
The impact of the military attack on Venezuelan territory and the kidnapping of President Nicolás Maduro and his wife Cilia Flores is not limited to the borders of Venezuela. The global response of rejection has multiplied since January 3rd. The violation of Venezuelan sovereignty has led to a major international social mobilization. This is not just a matter of government positions, but a reaction by social movements, civil organizations, political groups, and citizens in general who have taken to the streets to reject violence and U.S. interference.
La lista de países donde se han registrado manifestaciones populares en apoyo es extensa y diversa.
The list of countries where popular demonstrations of support have been recorded is extensive and diverse. In Latin America and the Caribbean, mobilizations have been reported in countries such as Cuba, Argentina, Bolivia, Brazil, Chile, Colombia, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, the Dominican Republic, Uruguay, Barbados, and more. In these countries, social organizations have linked the defense of Venezuela with the protection of the region as a zone of peace.
En Norteamérica,
In North America, civil society groups as well as political organizations and even parties in the United States and Canada have expressed their rejection of the Trump administration's interventionist foreign policies.
En Europa, la solidaridad popular se hizo presente en las calles.
In Europe, popular solidarity was on display in the streets of Germany, Denmark, Spain, France, Greece, Italy, Sweden, and Switzerland, as well as in major urban centers such as London, among other cities. This demonstration highlighted a growing disconnect between the European people and a racist, conservative political class that is submissive to the U.S. government.
En otras regiones, el apoyo popular también se extendió a naciones como Yemen.
In other regions, popular support also spread to nations such as Yemen, Korea, Iran, Lebanon, South Africa, Turkey, evidencing a feeling of unity among the peoples of the global south and those who question the unilateral order.
El impacto de los ataques ha sido
The impact of the attacks has been severe, but the activation of these popular movements at the global level shows that the respect for Venezuelan self-determination continues to be an international demand.